Yeah, basically a set is a combination, or it's a combination of a dimension and a measure, basically, and it is a subset of data that we see based on certain conditions. Let's say you have 1,000 records in our data, and by using certain conditions, we want to show only 10 records in a particular uh, worksheet or a workspace. So by writing some condition, we create some records that is called as a set. And so there are some dynamic sets. Let's say when I call dynamic sets, so we can create sets based on top 10. So when we create sets based on top 10 might change like month to month or on a daily basis. So let's say so if we take some superstore example or any uh, healthcare department example or anything. So let's take superstore for the sake of discussion. So we have some 10 products, and let's say product one has $100 of sales. Product two some $50. Likewise, for all the products, we have some 30, 40, something like this. So we have some 10 products in the starting, and let's say this will be in the top. Let's say product one is in the top position right now. Let's say in the month of June. And then you go to the July, so that might change. So product one might have become some $150, but product two might have become more than product one, some $200. So next time the sales amount of that particular product might be higher, the other product might be higher. So if we create a top 10 set, the top 10 will be based on the whatever the value at that point of time. Based on that, the top 10 might differ. So the list of products which are there right now in the at that point of time might change in the next coming data. So that is why we call this as a dynamic set. So let's see an example on how to create a set. So I'll put some products. So these are my list of products, and I'll put sales. This is my sales amount of that particular products. And so now if I want to create a set, I need to create right click on any particular dimension, and we can write the condition on that particular dimension. So let's so I want to show based on, let's say we have some number of products. Let's say we have 1849 products over here. So in those 1849, I want to specifically put some condition and show only some particular products. So for that, I need to write a condition. So let's go to product. I click on this. So we need to go to create, and here we see some options. So we have seen calculated field, we have seen parameter already, and here is the set option. And next we are going to see group. So now let's see how to create a group. And there will be a indication when we create a set. So likewise, we have this ABC symbol, this hierarchy symbol and all. So when we create any particular set, so that will be denoted with this Venn diagram, or we can call it as a two circles. So click on create and click on set. Okay. So there are many conditions that we can apply. We can directly select from this 1849 products, okay, and select manually. So in this way, let's say I'm selecting only these two products. Say okay, okay, and I'll put this product name. Sorry, in this set before this product name. Okay. So what happens is when we create a set, so whatever that we selected will be coming in the in, and whatever that we have not selected that will be in the outside. If we keep this set in the filter, it will directly filter out only that inside of the set. So this is one condition. This is nothing but this is static one. Why I call this as a static one? So I'm just selecting these two names, these two particular names I'm selecting. So let the data, if the data is higher or lower, it doesn't matter to this particular condition. It will just show you only these two at any point of time.
Yeah.
So this is the static condition. So in this set contains only these two values, these two product names. So I'll create one more set, or I'll edit this one only. Edit set. Okay. And in the custom value list, you can write names, the exact names you can write. So everything has to match. If you are writing something here, so ultra commercial grade dual wall door closer, even the I mean lower and upper cases also we need to maintain. So which is case sensitive. And if when you click on use all, it will take all the things into the consideration. That means it will take everything into the set. So this is one type, and condition. So in condition, we can say I want to put sum of sales greater than or equal to $40,000. Okay, say apply. Okay, so there are only one product which is having more than $40,000. So that is Canon image. So this condition is dynamic condition. So why it is dynamic? So now in this point of time, in this particular data, we have only one product which is having more than $40,000. So in the coming days, there might be some data you might get for some products. So the sales might increase for those products, and you might see some extra products in this list. So let me make it as 20,000 and say apply. Okay, so about 20,000. These are my list of products which are available. So in this way I can, and when you click on load here, so we can see for each and every product there will be some amount of sales, and so there is a maximum value for that product. So maximum value is 61,600 and minimum value is $2. So with that we can decide on what to keep the condition and all. So let's say I'll just remove the set for sake of discussion. So 61,600 is your maximum value, and the least amount of sales is there for Eureka disposable bags, which is $2. So this is our minimum value. So this we can see in the set also. So in the set, so when we load this, so Tableau will automatically compare with the each and every product with the sales and see which is the minimum value and which is the maximum value. and with that we can decide on what to write the condition and all. So we have values between 2 and 61,600. Then we can think of putting some value in between 2 and 61,600. So that is one. So this is dynamic condition. And now let's see top 10. Yeah, so this is top 10. So it will show us the top 10 products which we can see. So this top 10 product is also a dynamic one where we can change uh, I mean, the data might change and the top 10 products might differ. So let's say the Canon image class 2200 might not be the top one position. Maybe it might be some top two or top three. The order might change, or the list of 10 products which we are seeing right now might not be there in the next data set. So that is the process where we create sets and all. So there will be static sets and there will be dynamic sets. So static sets are basically where we manually select certain data points and where we fix those product names or the dimensional values. And in case of dynamic sets, we write a condition saying more than this amount of sales or less than this amount of sales. I want to see those products, or I want to see those uh, manufacturing details or something like that. And so those are dynamic sets. So that will change according to the data set that we have. Yeah. Any questions, Venkat? Do you understand about sets?
Yeah.
So can we create sets without a measure?
Now, sets we need to create the measure and dimensions both in order to show like a 10 top 10. We create the sets, right?
Yes. Yeah. It's a combination of dimension and a set together.
Yeah.
Correct. And we also can create a bottom 10 sets as well. So there is an option where we can select bottom here. This is one. So this is the bottom values that we have. And so in our previous sessions, we have seen how to create top 10 and bottom 10 all together. So now let's see how we can create that. So let's create a duplicate and say edit set. So I'll create one top set and one bottom set, and I'll combine that. So I'll just put 5. Okay. And here also I'll put 5 so that the design is visible. Okay. So these are my bottom 5, and I want to see. So I'll combine these two sets. So to combine these two sets, I need to control select these both sets and right click on that and create a combined set. So this is our combined set, which is top 5 and bottom 5. Okay, and say so I need all members in both sets. I need top 5 and I also need bottom 5. So this is the Venn diagram we need to select as we need to get both the sets. So click on OK. Okay, so we have a new set, top 5 and bottom 5. So I'll replace this filter. Okay, so now we have, these are the bottom 5 list and these are the top 5 list. I'll just rename these in and out. Just rename it as bottom 5 and let it tell as top 5. And I want to sort this, so I'll just sort it out. So I'll just do a manual sort where I want to keep top 5 on the top. Yeah. So write this set. Okay. So we have seen the definition of sets, and we also have seen conditional sets where we conditionally change the value. Let's say if I want to see the amount which is greater, I mean the product number of products which are greater than $40,000 or $20,000, and we have seen top sets and all, how to create top 5 and bottom 5, and now we will discuss about how to create bins. So as we discussed earlier in our previous sessions, so bins are nothing but it's a combination of sales values or measure values. So it is like a bucket. We keep uh, measure values in those buckets. So let's say we have some 100 records of data, and we have for each and every record we have sales amount. So we'll bucketize that sales amount to certain range. So let me show you what I mean by bucketize. So I'll just write product names, products, and sales. I have $5,000, and let's say 11222. Okay, and this is $4,000. CCC $3,500. TTT $4,200, and EEE. So I'm just creating a sample data where I will have only so that I can bucketize the data. So I'll create bins with a size of 500. So when I say 500, so I'll have buckets like this: 0 to 500, 501 to 1000, 1001 to 1500, 1501 to 2000, 2001 to 2500, 2501 to 25012 to 3000, 3001 to 3501. So can you tell me in which bucket this comes?
Last one.
Not
3,000.
last button.
Mm.
Last button. 3000, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And this comes under 4001 to 4500, and this comes under 3001 to 3500, and this comes under
3,500 to 4,000.
3500, 501 to 4000, and this 4501 to 5000. Okay, so we can bucketize in such a way, and yeah. So if you have lots of data, we will be easy. It will be easy to understand. And in this case, it is, let's say you have some number of products. So in that way, let's say you can count in this range how many number of products are there. So let me show you in the Tableau. So we have seen that in the hierarchical table that we have created, which is an histogram chart. So let me just create. So before going to do that, I'll just show you how the sales is. Yeah, this is our sales amount. Okay, we have sales amount starting from $0 to, and our maximum amount is some 22,638. So we have like this data and we need to create bins. Let's see how we can create that. Sales analysis. So basically, uh, this is just doing the aggregation. So what I mean by aggregation is it will do the summation of all the records that we have seen just now. So and if we go here analysis, if we unclick this aggregate measures, so it will stop doing aggregation. So you will be able to see all the values, each and every row value we can see. And if you see for 144.12, so there are 3 reports with 144.12 as sales. So that we could see. So now I'm creating a sales bill. So right click on this, create bins. So every time when we create bins, bins can be created only on measures because we are grouping the measure values. So we can group the dimensional values as well, but we don't call it as a bin. We call it as a group itself. But when you're grouping the measure values, then we call it as a bin. It's like a bucketizing the group. So let's say from 0 to 500, we make it as a group. 500 to 501 to 1000, we make it as a group. But in case of normal groups, what happens? We have a list of 100 countries, and APAC region, we have some 10 countries. EMEA region, we have 20 countries. So we can't write the conditions and dimensions. We just pull out some particular countries and put it in the bucket. But in case of bins, what happens is we write some condition. So from here to here, from this range to this range, one bin, and that range to other range. Let's say, so we'll put some bucket size. So bucket size, what Tableau is suggesting is 447, and how Tableau is suggesting is, so the minimum value which it has is 0, and the maximum value which it has is 22,638. So that we have seen in the data itself. So I'll show you here. So 0.4 rounding it off to 0, and that is why you're getting minimum value as 0, and the maximum value is 22,638. So this is our maximum value. So Tableau is suggesting us 447, and I want to take it as 500 as a bin size. Okay, I have created this bin. Now I'll put it before sales. Okay, now my bin is ready. Okay, so 0 to 500, I had made a bin. So it will not show me 0 to 500, it will just show only 0. And we need to assume that it is as 0 to 500. Why? Because we have created and set it up to 0 to 500. And till 500, you will see only 0 in the sales bin. Yeah. After crossing 500 only. Yeah. So 0 to 499.99, there is one bucket, and 500 to 599.99 is one bucket. Yeah. So if you see, we have sales amount 0 to 500, the number of records are more. That we can observe. And we have this $500 sales. And so for each and every 500, there is a bucket. And we have bucketed that amount. So we can see that amount. And in the bottom, we have other buckets, 1500 to 2001 bucket. So in this way, we have bucketed the amount. And there are some buckets where we don't have sales value itself. So from 14,000 to 14,500, we don't have any values itself. 14,500 to 14,599, we don't have any values. So it is not showing anything. So now let's see how many products or how many uh, customers who are in the who made sales in the range of 0 to 500 and all. I'll just put customer name and I'll take the count of it, count distinct. So there are, okay. So in total, we have 793 customers. So in 793 customers, I want to see how many customers, how many number of customers who made the sales in between 0 to $500, and who made the sales in between 500 to $599. Sorry, 500 to $999. So we can see that by creating the pins. So now let's put the sales bin over there. And I'll create a bar chart. So if you observe, so 0 to 500, the number of customers, 790 customers. So the number of customers are more in placing the orders or maintaining the sales. So 0 to $499. So 790 customers. I mean, most of the customers who are making sales are in the range of 0 to 499. And there are customers who made $22,500 and all. So that customers, we can see it over here. So there are only very less customers. So so the focus should be goes on this particular thing. So we should, that means people who are buying the products which are in the range of 0 to 500. So we need to focus on the products which are having less cost. So this is the actionable insight we get from a histogram chart. So this is called as an histogram chart. And we need to make this also say continuous. Yeah, then we can call this as a histogram chart. Why? Because we are bucketizing the sales amount and telling the number of customers details for in this particular range. So that is called as an histogram chart. Okay. Any questions, Venkat?
No, sir.
Okay. So can we create bins on dimensions?
Yes, we will create using bins on the dimensions and sets on the measures. For
Sets is a
example,
combination of a dimension and
oh,
measure.
sorry,
Then we can
yeah.
create only on measures.
Yeah, only on measures, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if it is like 0 to 500, we can create like
Yeah, it is a range. So we can't have ranges in dimensions. So we can't create in dimensions. Yes.
Yeah, we can only create the measures on the bins. Yeah.
Okay. So that is how we can create bins. And we also have seen one example for that, which is an histogram chart. And histogram chart is very important chart. And likewise, Pareto and waterfall charts and all. So, and we have seen the steps on how to create the bin. We need to right click on the measure and click on create and see the bin option over there. And also we can see the minimum and maximum value of the data. And Tableau also will suggest some size of bin. We can use that also, and or we can change manually or whatever size that we want to show. So that is about bins. So we have seen example of histogram, and these are the steps on how to create a histogram chart. Okay, so now let's talk about how to group our data. And yeah, so grouping is mainly on dimensions. And 1 second, we can also do it on measures as well. So in case of bins, we can only do on measures itself. But in case of groups, we can also do it on uh, measures also. So let's see. First of all, we see in the dimensions, then we'll go for measures. Yeah. So this is one more option. So in create, there are 4 options that we have seen. Create, calculated field, set and parameter. We have already completed these 3. And now we are going to discuss about group. Yeah. So this is a manual selection that we can do. Okay. And let's say I'll shift select the customer names. Okay. And you can directly click on group, or you can right click on this and click on group. A names or something like that. Okay. So this way we can select multiple times and make a group, or we can add to the existing group. Add to, so this is the existing group name. A names is a group name which I have created just now. And I'll create a add to, sorry, I'll create a new group name. I have added it to the existing one only. Okay, I'll add this other list of customer names to another group, and I'll name it as B group name, something like that. Okay. And yeah, so likewise I can create for all the list of things. And let's say now I'll see add to, I will see 2 group names. Why? Because I have added 2 groups, so I can see I want to add to A names or to the B group names or something like that. And when I say include other, so there are, I have created groups for like 10 customers. I have created only 2 groups, and the other list of names I can just click on this include other. It will, all the names will go into the other group, which is named as other. And if you unclick this, that group will be removed. And say OK. So this is our group. So I'll just put normal customer name first, and next customer name group. Okay. So A names. Somewhere here, B group name. So this is how we can create a group. Or there is one more procedure where we can create a group. We can directly select like this, and we can ungroup members and we can create group members. So let me show you how to group first of all. Okay, I'll just select this So I just need to select this and just hover on that. So I'll get this option and I'll need to click on this. Since this is the group link, so this new group is created. So we can rename this group name, new group. So like we can directly select in the workspace also, and we can create a group. So this is how we can create groups. And let's say I want to remove, let's say some 5 names. Okay, I want to remove from this A names group. So I just right click or just hover on that. We just need to select and hover. So this is ungroup symbol. So into mark, wherever you see into group, that means you are ungrouping that particular members. So no, these 5 names are no longer a part of that particular group. So this is how we can make a group. So this will be mostly useful for making the region countries selection. So Tableau will not automatically understand which region belongs to which country. So we need to manually select that these countries belong to this particular region, and organization to organization it might differ. So we need to specify those particular countries, and we need to tag those countries to those regions. So in such cases we use groups. And now let's see how we can do grouping based on measures. Create group. So when we are creating groups for measures, so it will show you all each and every value in that group. I mean, it's like a disaggregated values of sales amount. That means without any aggregation, we will see each and every value. So I'll just select. So here you need to manually select like 0 to 500. We can create a bin and all those things. But here we need to manually select and write whatever. We can write 0 to 3 range. So this is manual procedure which we don't do it, but there is an option that we can create groups for measures as well. Okay, and for measures, I think it's advisable to use bins. Why? Because the range is flexibly available over there. But in case of this particular grouping, I mean the group option which is available for measures, it is we need to manually select the things and do the grouping or whatever it is. So we need to 3 to 5 range, and I'll put all the others in the other group. Okay, and I'll put products, and I'll put sorry product name. Yeah, I'll put product name and sales. Then I'll put sales group. Sales group. Yeah. So when I put this sales group, I'll just put it over here. Okay. Yeah. So 0 to 3 range. Okay. So 0 to 3 range, these are my products. So I just grouped it. And we also have 3 to 5 range. So I just manually selected those 3 to 5 range products or 3 to 5 range sales amount. According to that, my sales amount is segregated for that. And rest all are in others. So this way I can create groups for measures also and as well as sales also. I mean measures and dimensions. Venkat, any questions?
No, sir.
Okay. So that's how we can create our group of data. And these are the steps on how to create groups and all. And now we are going to see on how to create reference lines. And so in reference lines, there are multiple options. We have bands, distributions, and boxes. And what is the usage of reference line? So we can see whether we are crossing that particular, it's like a target. So let's say I want to cross $500 sales in this particular month. So whether my segment or whether my regions are it crossing that particular $500 target. So if I want to see that, I'll put one reference line, so which will always be there for every month, and I will compare every time whether all my products or all my regions or all my segments, whether it is crossing that reference line or not. So not only line, we have so many options. In reference lines, we have bands, we have distributions, and we have boxes. Now let's see how we can create lines, boxes, and bands. So for that, access is mandatory to create any reference line. So now I'll just put sales, and I will also take product. I'll take subcategory. Yeah. So these are my subcategory values. So we need to have an access for sure to create a reference line. So right click on that particular axis and click on add reference line. Okay. So before creating any chart or any worksheet, so we need to know what is pane and what is cell and what is table. Okay. I will put one more category. Okay. So this particular box is called as a pane. We have a furniture, and under furniture we have some particular subcategories, and office supplies we have some subcategories. So this is called as a pane, and each and every product or each and every subcategory is called as a cell. This is a cell and this is a cell. Each and every bar is a cell. Okay, and this entire thing is called as a table. I mean, this is only applicable for the reference line. So this is a table and this is a pane. This particular box space is a pane and this is also a pane. So there are, so how many number of panes are there in this particular worksheet?
3.
Yeah, so we have 3 panes. Yeah, and we have 17 cells. Each and every bar is a cell, and we have 17 cells like that. And we have only one table. This entire thing is a table. And now let's see, add a reference line. Well, first of all, we'll go with entire table. So here I'm taking sales average. So when I say sales average, it is taking the total. So I clicked on entire table. So let's show analysis, total, show column grand totals. Sorry, row grand totals. Okay, so this is our total value 2297201. I'll remove this. So calculation will calculate the average. So 2297201 divided by 70, which gives you 135,129. Yeah. So 135,129. So it is comparing the entire tables and it is taking the average. So edit reference line. Let's see what happens when I click on per pane. So I said each and every box is a pane. This particular thing is a pane and this thing is a pane. And so the average for this box is different. I mean, so what it does is it will calculate the sum of all these four, 11480, 328,449. So it will calculate the sum of all these four, which is $742,000 divided by 4, which gives you this amount. So that is the average for only these four. And this is the average for all these 10 items. And this is the average for this one. So this way we find the average for particular pane. So this way, this is one option. And what happens when I click on per cell?
For each per se, you can get like book, chairs.
Yes. For each and every subcategory we get. So when you do for only one product, the average, it will be equal to the sum of sales. So that is why it is coming on the top of the bar itself. And instead of showing the, so now it is showing the computation. So we are doing average. So that is showing the computation. So when you click on this and you want to show value, it will show you the value. And you don't want to show value also. You want to write some custom text, number or something. So we can write our own text also. So that is one. Or you don't want to show anything. So it will just show the line itself. So not only average, we can do all the aggregation functions. We can we can show total, we can show some, we can put some constant value also. Okay, I want to put reference line from $200,000. Okay, so likewise, instead of doing some aggregation or anything, I want to show only some amount. So that I can do. Per pane, but this won't change for per pane or entire table. Why? Because I'm just putting some particular fixed amount. So here I'm not doing any calculations as such. So that's the reason it is for per pane and entire table, it will be same. But when you do an aggregation, like an average or something, so average entire table per pane per cell, it will be different. So if you see, the line is moving in the backend. So that is something. And click on this. And when you hover on this, you can see some amount. Average is $135,129. So that text also we can change. So when you hover on something and you see some pop-up, that is called as a tooltip. So average equal to $135,129. That is called as a tooltip. Not only that, when you hover on any bar also you see some text. Some text is popping up. So that is called as a tooltip. So we can customize the tooltip as well. Click on custom. And you can write number or something. You can have average, and you want to show some dynamic value. Okay. This is the same thing, sir, but we can write manually. That's and we can put some. We can put the computation also, or the field name. Click on that. Yeah. So field name is sales. Okay, we are computing of the sales. We are taking the average of the sales. So that also we can do. So that is about how to create uh, a reference line. So that's about all the three options. And we also have band, distribution, and box plot. So click on band. So in the line option, we have only one option to select only the where do you want to see the line and all. So band, you can have some maximum line and we have minimum also. So minimum I want to put. So minimum is $0 and maximum is the value which is there.
One.
Let me just show you. So the maximum value is this one, $330,007, and the minimum value is this one. So Tableau automatically taken that minimum and maximum thing, but we can change this uh, particular order, and we can put some computation constant. I want the maximum as 300,000 and the minimum as and 250,000. Sorry, 50,000. Oh, okay. So I have created a band. So I will just see what are the subcategories are in that band. So 250,000 to 300,000. There are only two subcategories. So chairs and phones. So this is also one way of representation where we can, instead of just showing one line, we can put some range of lines. So in this particular range, from $250,000 to $300,000, how many subcategories are there? So that we can see by using bands, and that is also different for per pane and per cell. But we have entered the constant value, so it will be different. And let's take minimum itself, maximum, and this is minimum. And if you see for per pane, it will be different. So per pane, the maximum value is different, the minimum value is different. So that is why it will for parcel, if you take the maximum and minimum will be same. Why? Because the maximum value for book only for bookcases, it will be the same. So that is why it is showing you maximum minimum at the same place. So that is about per pane. And distribution. So distribution is something where we just mention the 60% or 80%. This is the percentage that we can mention. So directly, so the 80% of the maximum value is 240,000, and the 60% of the maximum value, which is your 480,000. So we can specify that values, or let's say we want to mention only 50%. Okay, so the 50% of maximum value is your $150,000. So instead of writing some amount or putting some minimum or maximum value, here you can mention the percentages. So that is one option, and that will be even for entire table, per pane, per cell, it will be same. Why? Because we are not taking any average specifically. You are mentioning, you are comparing it with the maximum value, and you are comparing it with the, percentages and all. So that's how it won't be different for each and every thing. And the box plot. So let me show you box plot here. Yeah. So box plot is something. So it will show you the outliers. So when I say outliers, let me show you one example. Let me say movies, and we have ratings. Ratings from 1 to 10. 1 to 10 we have ratings. We have A, B, B, like this. And you have rating like 8, 9, 8.5, 8 again. And suddenly you have this 2 for this movie. So this is called as an outlier. That means out of nowhere you are getting some low rating for the movie. Or in case of sales, if you see, you are getting some $500 in all the regions, except one region you got only $5 of sales. That means we have to take action on that particular region. So that is called as an outlier. So this box plot, what does it do is, so all the normal average ones will come in this box. So when I say average, so these are movies are in the range of like 8 to 9. So if you take an average, your percentage will be somewhere around 8 or something like that. So all these movies will be in the range of average itself. But when you go for this movie, this is an outlier. So that won't come in your box. So that there are some higher outliers, there are some lower outliers. So this is your lower outlier. So when I say higher outlier, so there are some cases. Let's take the same example. We have movies which have 3 rating, 2.5 rating, and 4 rating, and suddenly you have 10 rating for some movie. So this is higher outlier. So there are some lower outliers and there are some higher outliers and there are some average ones. So that is the reason you see some value on top. So if you see, we have phones which is having $330,000 on top, and copiers for $149,000. So it is on the lower side of the outlier. So these two are the outliers. So within the box which are there, so they are in the like average. So they are in the average bucket. So we don't need to worry about those. So the outliers, this is the good one. So we need to take good things from that product. Why is it giving higher values and all? But we need to focus on this particular copiers. Why is it giving the less amount of sales? So that can be highlighted by using uh, this particular calculation. Venkat, is it clear or any doubts in this box plot?
No.
So with this box plot, we can highlight the outliers. So that is about reference lines. And reference bands also we have seen. So with that, we have completed the 15th session. So any questions?
No, yeah.
Okay, then. Yeah, we'll continue the session the same timing tomorrow.
Yeah.